Okay, everybody, we're going to try and take off this line right here. I've got the caliper off, the shoes, the brake pads, I've got them off. I'm going to pull off the rotor after a while, but right now we're going to work on this soft line right here. Going to take it off. I want to do some just some cosmetic work to the caliper. It's probably fine given the mileage on the car, even though it's been set in a while. There's surface rust. It needs cleaned up, but right now I think we're going to be able to get away with just cleaning up, maybe hitting it with some spray paint and make it look good. And also under here, we're going to clean all this up under here. The frame is real good and solid. We'll get this cleaned up and hit that with some rebuild paint. It's got some it's got some rust inhibitor or some sort of undercoating on it already. But that seems to be coming off a little bit. I'm not sure if I'll wire wheel it or just kind of hand brush it and make sure it's clean and then hit it with something black, and have it look as decent as it can. Obviously going to clean all this up right in here. I don't know how much you can see on that. But we're going to get some stuff cleaned up, be taken off the I'm going to go ahead and replace the wheel bearings and all the stuff, but the rotors look good, not too dug in on either side. There's no valleys or anything, so they just need to be cleaned up. Maybe hit this part here with some paint, make it look good. The dust cap, hit that with some paint, make it look all right. So anyway, but let's go ahead and get busy on removing this line. And I'm not going to try and show you both sides, because on the other side there's about 1.5 feet for me to be able to work over there. I got a pretty small garage and this is a pretty big car, so I'm going to pause while I get the right tools, and then I'll turn it back on and you can watch me wrench this time. That I haven't done that very much. Have you watch me turn a wrench, and we'll also keep the curse words to a minimum. Okay, I'm going to pause for just a bit while I get the right tools, and then we'll be right back. Okay, I do believe we do have the right size wrenches here. I got a 7/16 pipe wrench, and that is right on there. And we have a 5/8 inch pipe wrench. And let's see what we can do and get done. Uh-oh. Okay, wait a second. That is rounded off. Now, I don't have the best tools, so let's not do too much damage to all right. Okay, I'm gonna pause and go get some liquid wrench, get that on there. We'll work on this slowly. Okay, we're gonna hit this with some liquid wrench. Let that soak in just a little bit. And while that's happening, I think we'll work a little bit on the rest of the wheel. If we can get the light to be good. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and work on getting this off. And man, look at that. That's fairly dirty right there. Yeah, you wonder how dirt and grime gets into places, and it's no wonder to me because these Nebraska roads, that's what they're famous for. Two things: dirt and deer. This is coming off. There we go. Look at that. Man, the grease in there is all right. You know, good and black. Doesn't stink other than grease. I'm going to get some different gloves on, and then we'll be back because that looks to be greasy, grimy gopher guts. Okay, I'm back. Putting on two things here. Safety, a little bit, and cleanliness. Cleanliness is next to godliness, they say. Well, I don't know about all that, but we'll see what goes. Okay. Oh man, look at that. That whole set of grease in there. Man, that is so nice to see. You know, you get something that's been in a garage for as long as these have, and to have everything look this good is just a joy. You know, um, let's see. Do I have something to take that cotter pin out with? I sure do, but not sitting right here. Where's my paper towels? What do you need paper towels for? You got gloves on. Now, and then I don't get everything else all nasty and greasy when I'm just going to get tools and such. Oh, Lordy. There's that. There's them. Okay. Back just that quick. There we go. There's so much grease on here, I can't even see if I'm doing this right. Lo and behold, I did it right. There's that. Hey, now, there's that. Covered in grease. Absolutely covered in grass. Should be, see, this is still put together just exactly the way it ought to have been. Kind of hand tight. I was gonna get a new spindle nut and keeper and washer. No, ain't gonna waste the money. Ain't gonna waste the money. You know, it hasn't even begun to change colors yet. Oh my. Yeah, there's the bearing. We'll check that out. You know, maybe we'll get a new bearing. We'll see what kind of shape this in. I see a little bit of surface rust and stuff on that, so we'll probably get a new bearing. You know, for this. Oh my goodness. Yeah. You know, so new bearings. You know, and the seal still looks pretty good though too. Heavens to Murgatroyd. You know, this is all right. People, I am very happy with what I'm looking at right now. That rotor is fine. We'll put new bearings in it, new seal, and we'll clean this up. I'll leave that grease on there now till I'm ready to come back and put these on, but we'll put new grease on all of these, you know, the new bearings and all over this. You know, I'm going to get this dust cover off. Then we'll work on that hose. We'll work on that hose. Here, let me go ahead and see about that. Looks to be 7/16 turd hats. You think it is? No. Let's try a hay, as some of them say. Ow. Yeah, we're going to take this dust cover off and get it all gussied up. Yeah, when people look underneath this, they're going to say, woo, wee, Billy Bar, what is happening under there? Did this leave the showroom floor? And then they'll look at the outside and say, well, they put this old body on the brand new underside. What the heck? Yesterday, me and the wife were going shopping in Omaha, and we'd stopped by a store, and there was a vehicle there. Just, hey, you know, we had drove such vehicles in our past, but yeah, it was just a, you know, some sort of nondescript SUV. I don't know, but it had seen its better days. The part of the bumper cover was missing. There was holes above each, and I don't just mean rust holes. No, there was damage holes at both the passenger side fender wells, and then on the passenger side door was black duct tape. Must have been 2 foot wide, and you know, from about 6 inches off the bottom of the door to about 4 inches from the top of the door. You know, and just, it wasn't a square, it was more of a crossword puzzle looking situation. And I looked at that and I said, oh my. And my wife looked over at it, and I said, did I work on that? No. Yeah, she lost it. Yeah. So that's my funny story for today. Anyway, oh goodness gracious, this is turned out all right. You know, some of the bushings are showing some wear, but that's just time and pressure, you know, that makes that happen. You know, but we'll see what we'll see how they do. The ones right in here, they look okay, but anyway, okay. Well, I'm going to shut her down just a little bit and you know, do some work on this, and you know, get my bearings ordered, you know, for the inner and outer bearings and seals, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, we'll get this this rotor all cleaned up, this cleaned up, and all in here under this all cleaned up, and we'll get this off, and we'll see if we need a new line. And I'm going to dress up the caliper, you know, clean it and maybe spray paint it. I'd like to put a new kit, you know, just the rubber pushers on the caliper, the cylinder in there, you know, see if I could get that replaced. But anyway, right now, I'm just going to get at it and do some cleaning, and I know you don't want to see me clean stuff. So, all right, I will be back with you. I'll let you know what happens with that hose. Okay, I've got the hard line started. So I think what I'm going to do is replace the hose, as I can certainly get it off the caliper and then hooker by crook get it off of the bracket. And if I can get it off of the bracket, then I can reuse the bracket. And that's one more thing I'm not going to have to buy from Rock Auto. You know, there's cardboard. There we go. See how easy that is? You too can be a magician. Now that looks to be a 7/16. No, that looks to be a half. Let's see if it is. Do I have a half here? There's one. Yep. Let me get a half ratchet. And I'm going to take the bracket off, and then we'll pull this caliper out of here and get that brake hose off, and we'll get some new brake hoses, and we'll do that. So, okay, I've got that steel line off of the soft line, and we're going to move forward. Okay, I will see you next time.